Charizard is on fire once again. It looks like Charizard fatigue has come to an end because pretty much every Charizard card, not just Ultra Modern, but the further back you go, every Charizard card for the most part is growing like crazy. If you guys know my channel, I don't really talk about vintage all that much, so we're not really going to dive too far back here, but we're going to talk about some of the Charizard cards that are seeing massive gains right now and sprinkle in a few that I think have really good potential to be picking up right now. Before we get into the video, I know you know Phantasmal Flames is right around the corner. If you want to be able to secure your Pokemon Center pre-orders, get the best price on Phantasmal Flames, and be able to get those exclusive Elite Trainer boxes, then make sure you're subscribed to PokeNotify. PokeNotify is the best way to be notified for any sort of Pokemon restocks or even new product drops, and not just on Pokemon Center. They've got Best Buy, Target, Walmart, stores from all over the world. If you're interested in PokeNotify, you can start a 3-day free trial by hitting the link in the description. We're waiting for Phantasmal Flames to drop at any point now, so now is the best time to start that 3-day free trial and try to secure your Pokemon Center ETB. Thanks again to PokeNotify for sponsoring today's video. Now let's move forward and talk about some Charizards. Alright, well, on the topic of Megas, Mega Evolution, Phantasmal Flames, maybe that's why Charizards are going up. Definitely why Mega Charizards are going up. There are a few of them. You look at the Flash Fire Charizards, they're going up, they've been going up, but specifically the Evolutions Full Art Mega Charizard Y. In the last year, this card has seen some pretty significant growth. It's up over 200%. A year ago, about $45. Today, it's going for $146. Obviously, finding a near mint copy of this card is pretty difficult, but even if you can find an LP copy at a decent price, it's definitely a good card to be holding on to, especially over the next few months. You've got a couple other oddball Charizards. The Special Delivery Charizard, Sword and Shield promo, very similar. This card was about $35 a year ago. Today, it's about $140. This was a card given out from the Pokemon Center a few years ago now. Very cool card, but there were a lot of them out there. But, you know, with some cards, the quantity doesn't necessarily matter, and it seems this is one of those. You've also got the Celebrations Charizard. Celebrations is doing really good right now. Stamped cards are doing really good right now. Charizard cards are doing really good right now. Obviously, this card is doing great. A year ago, $71. Today, $130, and looks like it's going to continue going. This card could very well fly right past $150 and start heading towards $200 in preparation for the 30th anniversary. Now let's jump ahead to the Scarlet and Violet era. The big banger Charizard cards from this era have all been doing amazing. The Obsidian Flames Charizard was super undervalued in my opinion for the longest time. I expected to have a bit more time before it shot up, especially shot up like it has in this past couple of weeks. A year ago, $43. Today, $123, and looks like it's going to keep going. The PSA 10 has basically doubled in price. In Canada, I saw them at about $450, $460 for a while there in July. The last couple PSA 10s I saw were more like $1,200, so definitely not one I'm going to be picking up at this moment. You've also got the Paldean Fates Charizard. Paldean Fates is doing great. That Bubble Mew, you know, the set is just super popular. It's hard to come by. You don't see packs very often out and about either. Even at card conventions, I haven't really seen too much Paldean Fates. And I mean, when you do, the sealed product is pretty expensive, so no wonder the singles are climbing. The 1-year low on this card was about $103. Right now, it's at its all-time high of $275. This one's going to be a $300 card, probably within the next week or two. And the big 151 Charizard, we've got a 151 video coming out later in the week. Stay tuned for that. Seems the 151 market is going crazy at the moment. This card is almost passing its 1-year high. A year ago, you could get it for $123, spiked all the way up to $290. Today, it's sitting at about $286 and looks to be continuing to climb. It seems that all these ultra modern Charizards are just flying and have no signs of slowing down. Feels like the beginning of the Sword and Shield era where every Charizard was super hot when Champion's Path came out and those Charizards were going crazy. Surprisingly, those ones aren't going crazy right now, but everything else is. The Charizard alt art from Brilliant Stars has finally started getting some respect. A year ago, this card was $130 and today it is $250. Looks like it's going to start slowing down around $250, but I feel like alt arts just have potential to be strong and continue growing. Brilliant Stars is going up in value right now. It's an amazing set. It's kind of been slept on. I think it's one of the best sets from the Sword and Shield era. And this card being the number one card from that set definitely has potential to stay strong or continue to grow. Now, speaking of Sword and Shield, we had a ton of Charizards come out in that generation, unlike Scarlet and Violet, where we only realistically had 3 big chase Charizards. I guess we also had some EXs and full arts and whatever. Basically, Sword and Shield had Charizards. It seemed like every couple months there was a new Charizard card. The Charizard UPC gave us 3 Charizard cards, and they're all really, really cool. The first one we'll talk about is the Charizard V. This card has seen steady growth. It was like $7 for the longest time, not a very expensive card. Of course, these boxes were basically on clearance. You could get them for like 70 USD. I picked up a bunch of these a couple Black Fridays ago. I think the lowest I paid was 92 Canadian, which is really, really good for this product, especially considering the packs and the promos. These promos are worth more than $90 together right now, so amazing pickup if you got these for cheap. And like I said, this card used to be $7. Today it's $36. You've also got the V-Star, a little bit more expensive, or maybe a lot a bit more expensive. It was going for about $13. Today it's going for $69. And my favorite of them all, the Charizard VMAX, the Godzilla Charizard. This one's right in the middle. It was about 14 bucks. Very steady for a year, but back in the middle of June started spiking up. Today, 43 bucks, but looks like it's going to crush past 50 any day now. One more big Charizard that's seen movement, but not a ton of movement, is the Rainbow GX from Burning Shadows. This card doesn't really move a ton on TCG Player. Obviously, there's not a ton of them out there. People aren't really cracking Burning Shadows these days. This is the only real hit in that set, and the quality is so bad. I feel like if you really want this card, it's better to just pick up a PSA 9 or PSA 10, because odds are you're finding a PSA 8 or less when you pick up a raw copy these days. But the 1 year low on this card was about $405. Today it's going for $497. So spiked up a lot. It seems like basically since May, it's just been steadily climbing up to $500. I do suspect this one might go up a little bit more, but I feel like a lot of collectors are still a little iffy on the rainbows, even though we're not seeing them nearly as much these days as we used to. Before we get into some Charizards that have potential to grow, I got a couple more little Charizard cards to talk about from the Sword and Shield era. You've got the Lost Origin Trainer Gallery Charizard, the one with Leon on it. Really cool card, but insane growth. This was a $4 card a year ago. Today, it's 22 bucks. This is definitely going to 25, 30, maybe even 35. While it's climbing, if you can grab one for cheap, if people haven't realized it's going up, maybe try to pick one up, because there could be good potential to do a quick flip, but I don't think this one's going to be super strong long term. You also had 2 Radiant Charizards, which were shiny Charizard cards. I saw some people running around at card shows this past weekend trying to pick up a bunch of the Pokemon Go Radiant Zards, which we'll talk about first. This card has been on a bit of a roller coaster over the year. It's seen lows of $8, but it's also seen highs of $13. Right now, it's actually back to its high, which it hit in December, of $13.50. Looks like it's going to continue going, though. I wouldn't be surprised if this is like a $15 to $20 card. You've also got the Radiant Charizard from Crown Zenith. This one was never really too expensive. It's been easy to pick up sub $5 for, basically since it came out. Today, it's sitting at $7 and looks like it's going to keep going. This will be, again, a $10 to $15 card in the next few weeks, I'm sure. Long term, I feel like these cards have great potential. They may not be the most difficult pulls, but shiny Charizards from the end of the Yellow Border era, especially the one from Crown Zenith, I think have really good potential. I guess the Pokemon Go one does too. Stamped cards are somewhat hot right now, but you know, it's not nearly as nice looking in my opinion as the one from Crown Zenith. Now for some Charizards that I think still have room for growth and some shiny Charizards. We've got the Charizard GX, the shiny one from Hidden Fates. This card hasn't seen really any movement in the last 6 months. Its 1-year low was about 420. Its 1-year high was about 540, and today it's 522. This might be a card that's worth picking up. Hidden Fates has gone up like crazy. A lot of the cards are up there. That Rayquaza promo has done really, really well as of late. The ETBs have just been blowing up in price. I suspect this Charizard should climb a little bit, especially if we get a nice shiny Mega Charizard at some point in the next year. You've also got the shiny Charizard V from Champion's Path. The PSA 10 of this card has seen a bit of growth over the past couple of months. The raw copy, not so much. A year ago it was about $165, spiked up to about $235, and today is going for about $222. I think this one has potential as well. Not the scariest looking Charizard, not the coolest Charizard, but I do think it is a really clean looking card. One more shiny Charizard that has started to see some growth. It's been getting purchased a little more often. We're looking at the Shining Fates Charizard VMAX. A year ago, $82, spiked up to $124 and is now at about $108 and looks like it's going to keep growing. I feel like all these shiny Charizards have potential to climb. It seems like everything else has, but these three in particular haven't really moved too much over the past few weeks. You've also got another VMAX, the Rainbow VMAX from Champion's Path. This one is down quite a bit in the last year. A year ago, it was 151, spiked all the way up to about 212, and is now back down to about $157. Like I said earlier, I feel like people don't really love the rainbows. They haven't really accepted the rainbows. I do feel like if you wait long term, people are going to look back and be like, yeah, man, some of those rainbow cards were cool, and want to pick up the iconic ones, maybe like this Charizard or the Snorlax VMAX, or even some older ones like the Charizard from Burning Shadows or the Gyarados from Crimson Invasion. Last couple of cards on the list, you've got the Classic Collection Charizard. This one has been on a steady decline. Of course, nobody really likes the Classic Collection all that much, but if you're going to get any card out of it, this is the one to get. It hit a 1-year low very recently of about $93, but is now spiking up. It's at $98 and looks to be continuing to grow. Like I mentioned, the 1-year high was $110, so it'll take a bit for this card to return to $110 or past that, and who knows if it really will. I think there are better Charizards to get, but the holo pattern on this one is still pretty nice. And the last two cards I want to talk about, the Tag Team Charizards. They spiked up. We're specifically talking about the alt arts. I think they're both promos here. Yeah, the alt art promos. You got the Reshiram and Charizard, and the Charizard and Braixen. Both of them very nice. I think I prefer the Charizard Braixen just because the contrast with that purple background is really nice. Of course, we saw tag teams go crazy earlier in the year, so I don't know if this one necessarily has a lot of wiggle room in terms of going up in value. It was about $20, spiked up to $120, and is now at $87, so more of a gamble. This one could go up. It could go down. I don't know if the tag team hype is kind of over right now. I don't see as many people looking for these cards at least. And then the Reshiram Charizard. This one is really cool. This one's like a little bit cooler, where the Charizard and Braixen's a little bit, I don't know, more fun and bright. Again, you could get this card for like less than $40 last year. Spiked all the way up to $178 and is now $156. It's like steadily going down right now. Will it keep going down? Probably, but like I said with Charizard and Braixen, these tag team cards are a bit of a gamble. They could see another spike. They could also stagnate or drop in value. If you wanted to pick up some Charizards that I think have good room for growth, it would be those shiny Charizards I mentioned earlier, the VMAX, the V, and the GX. I think those cards realistically have a solid chance of seeing a little bit of growth over the next few months. All right, guys, that's going to be it for today's video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What Charizard do you think is doing great? Are you picking up Charizard cards right now? Are you selling off your Charizards and buying different Pokemon? Always interested on your thoughts. And yeah, that's going to be it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, consider hitting that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!